to get used up. I think they're all some type of pork, boneless pork chops or bone-in pork chops. I'm going to brown them, and then I'm going to put them in the slow cooker. And when they're tender enough, I'm going to take the meat off the bone, and I'm going to make me a big old pot of soup. Hello, this is Tina, the girl in the garden. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am using up some meat from my freezer that needs to be used. I've got some frozen vegetables that need to be used. It's cold, and I want a big bowl of hearty beef vegetable soup. So let me get to browning these. This is the last little bit I have left to brown, and so the others are in my slow cooker. Again, I did look at the package. Some of this could have been beef, some could have been pork. I could not read my mom's writing. I'm not going to really care. Anyway, in my crock pot, I have put 4 cups of very hot water. My crock pot or slow cooker is on high, and the meat I've already browned is in there. And then I'm going to add this meat to that. I'm going to let it cook until the meat is tender, and I can take any of the bones out and kind of shred this up a little bit. And then I'm going to start adding to it to make me a delicious hearty soup. All right, it's all in the crock pot. Did I tell you that I did bone broth with the water? So I did 4 cups of water so far and 4 teaspoons of that better than bouillon beef broth. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. I'm going to, I have a little bit of bone broth left in the jar. I'm going to kind of mix that up. I'm going to use it to deglaze my pan, and I'm going to pour it in here. Okay, so you know how you clean out your soup jars or whatever? I just put a little bit of water in there, and now I'm going to use it to kind of deglaze my pan, because I want all that meat covered up, and I'm going to let it cook on high till it gets deliciously tender. All right, I'm going to need 2 hands, so I'll be back. All right, everything's in the crock pot, all the meat and the beef bouillon. Now I'm going to let it cook on high until that meat becomes tender, so I can kind of shred it. I'm going to have some kind of a shredded beef or shredded pork, whichever it is, soup. At the end of the day, that's what I'm heading for. All right, I'll be back. I got to think about what I want to add to this, what kind of seasonings, what kind of vegetables, if I want to add some rice. So let me keep going. I completely forgot I was recording this today, so you missed a couple of steps I did. One was I let it cook for about an hour on high. Then I added a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. I let it cook for about another hour. Then I actually took it out and I did slices because I want to get all the fat off of it and the bones. But I wanted it to be tender enough that I could do that easily. So now it's just going to finish cooking. I'm going to turn it to low. And I'm going to finish cooking it for, let's see, it's probably been on about 3.5 hours. Probably until you get to 4 to 5 hours. And we'll see if that meat is breaking down on its own and can easily be shredded. While our meat continues to cook for about another hour, I have decided what I'm going to add to it. There is absolutely no seasoning in it as of yet, other than the balsamic vinegar, if you want to call that seasoning, or the beef broth, I guess. But there's no salt and pepper or nothing like that. I'm going to put it in some taco seasoning mix. I might add some garlic, I'm not sure. I'm going to add at least 1 can of white beans, and I'm going to rinse them. I'm going to add in green enchilada sauce. And then I'm going to add in my jalapeño salsa that I canned. And we're going to see what kind of a flavor profile that gives us. I can't even talk today. All right, it's been a long day and I worked overtime. So the longest part is really getting your meat to get tenderized. I didn't use a roast, so I kind of knew I was going to have to go a little bit longer. And I wasn't sure if it was steak or pork chops. But we'll see. Hopefully it has a good flavor. The meat needed to be used. We'll just call it the surprise soup, I guess. All right. Well, let's let it keep doing its thing. All right. It's time to start adding things. So I took this little meat masher thing and I kind of started mashing up the meat, and it breaks it up pretty good. Not quite like shredded beef, but pretty good. So I'll keep doing it throughout. But let's get started adding things. Let's add our drained, rinsed white beans. Let's give it a mix. Now, my hope is that when I continue to kind of break up the meat, that some of the beans and other things kind of mash it too and kind of thicken the soup. I added about 2 tablespoons of the taco seasoning. I thought I hit record, I hit take a picture, so you won't see that. Now I'm going to add the whole big can of the enchilada sauce. All right, and I don't know, I might need to add more beans. Well, we'll see, because I've decided I'm going to add some corn and some carrots to this as well. I've added about a cup of frozen carrots, and a cup of frozen corn. As you can see, this crock pot is pretty full. I probably should have used my bigger one. Okay, let me get it stirred. All right, I also just added 3 heaping tablespoons of my jalapeño salsa. I always want to call it a relish. Jalapeno salsa. All right. All right. The other thing is, because these vegetables are frozen, I think it's going to drop the temperature. So I did turn it back on high. And I'm going to give it probably an hour. And then I'm going to taste the flavor to see if I like it. And I think I am going to probably have to put that other can of beans in there because, I don't know, I want it to be a little bit thicker and chunkier than this. So we'll see what I decide. Hopefully just overall the flavor's good. That's what I want, is a good flavored soup for the cold days. I think we are done. Yay! Crock pot is really full. Every time I take the lid off, I make a big old mess. But kind of what it looks like. Oh, sorry. I didn't go through and mash it with a masher again. Okay, I'll do that, but let's have a taste. So the other thing is, if you do not can and you don't have the jalapeno salsa, it is just a mixture of onions, peppers, and tomatoes. I will go look at the ball canning book and kind of see what the ratios are. So I'm going to say you can take some tomatoes, some onions, and some jalapenos, chop them up, saute them, and throw them in the soup. I've used some steaks or pork chops that needed to be used. I think they were pork steaks, but whatever. I used the rest of the beef bouillon, which I did not know, but when I threw the package away, I had got it on sale for $1. That's gone and used up. My frozen corn is used up. Not corn, carrots is used up. The can of green enchilada sauce that I got from my mom's house is used up. So sometimes we just got to take a look to see what we need to use and then start playing with it. I really didn't know what I was going for until the very end, as you know. All right, let's give this a try. This has great flavor. I'm surprised. I didn't actually shred the meat, but I did use that little hamburger thing that people use to get some of the meat chopped up. Some of the carrots are chopped too, but I didn't come back and do it again. I forgot. So I'll probably do that, but I'll probably let it cool down. It's already late, and I need to go to bed because I got to get up early. But I'm definitely having this for dinner, probably for lunch tomorrow as well. And then I'll probably freeze it. This has good flavor. So again, what do you need to use? What flavor profile are you looking for? Then experiment. Either record it like I did or write it down as you go so you remember what you did. All right, I am hungry. I think it's like 7 o'clock. I don't know. It's been a long day for me. I worked overtime. Remember, I did not have to manage this all day. Right? It's not like cooking steak or pork chops on your stovetop. You throw them in the slow cooker, let them do their thing until you're ready to go back and deal with it. Saves you from having to just stand there, I guess. Anyway, folks, thank you. I know I have dumb humor. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm glad you watched. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you to create your own soups now that it's Crocktober. And this is Tina, the girl in the garden, hoping that you liked it enough to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you could see more. Share the video. Comment below and tell me what you'd do differently. All right, it is me, Tina, the girl in the garden, and I gotta go. I'll see you next time.